Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make fresh baked cinnamon rolls. These are one of my top sellers and your family and friends will love them. So if you want to know how to make fresh cinnamon rolls from scratch, keep watching. The first thing you're going to need is some yeast, of course. Be sure to check the expiration date on your yeast. Most recipes will have you use a 9x13 pan. I'm going to use my 9x9 pan because I want a bigger cinnamon roll. The first thing we need to do is make our dough. You're going to need some bread flour, some instant yeast, some granulated sugar. We want to warm up some of our milk, some unsalted butter that we're going to melt down, some salt, and some eggs. First, you need to warm your milk. We want to make sure we just warm it till about 100 degrees. You do not want your milk to boil or simmer because if your milk is too hot, it will kill your yeast. Now we'll pour the warm milk into a bowl and add the yeast. You need to let this sit for about 5 minutes until it's foamy, or as we say, we need the yeast to bloom. We'll add our sugar, our eggs, our salt, and our melted butter. Now I'm going to add half of my flour and I'm going to whisk it together with my whisk. Add, and I'll mix it with my hand. As I'm mixing it, as it starts to incorporate, I'll finish the kneading process on my work surface. Continue to knead the dough until all the flour is absorbed and also until you have a nice smooth ball. Once you have completed kneading your dough, you place the dough in a lightly oiled bowl and cover with plastic wrap. Now we need to let this dough sit and rise. It's actually called proofing. The dough needs to rise. At least it needs to double in size. Once our dough has doubled in size, we need to punch the air out. At this stage, I'm going to let my dough rest in the refrigerator until the next day. As I take my dough out the refrigerator, I'll let it sit for about an hour or so, just to bring it down to room temperature. Now, as my dough sits, I'm going to make my filling. We're going to need some brown sugar, some cinnamon, and some softened butter. Let's mix this together. We're going to lightly flour our work surface. You want to roll the dough into a nice large rectangle-like shape, about 1/4 inch thick. Now we're going to spread our filling onto our dough. We're going to evenly distribute it and leave about 1 inch of space on each side. And I brush my sides with some heavy cream. I'm just evening off my dough at the bottom. Now we're going to roll it up tightly, starting from the long side. Once we have finished rolling it, we're going to cut the ends off. Most recipes will have you use a 9x13 pan and you can get 12 even parts. And right here what I'm doing is just scoring my dough to see where I need to cut to get even circles. So how you would do that is find the center and then cut 6 pieces on each side. For me, because I typically sell my cinnamon rolls, I want to sell a bigger cinnamon roll. So that's how I make my rolls. I'm actually using a 9x9 pan that's going to give me 9 cinnamon rolls. So I just score my dough to see exactly where I'm just eyeballing it here, but how I get 9 even pieces. Once I've cut my dough, I place them in my pan. Now you need to cover the rolls and let them rise for another 30 minutes or until they puff up nicely and all your cinnamon rolls are touching. Once your dough has risen, now it's time to pop them in your preheated oven at 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes or until they're nice and golden brown. Now it's time to frost our cinnamon rolls. You can use your favorite cream cheese frosting recipe, but I already had some on hand. If you'd like to see how I make mine from scratch, I'll drop a link to the recipe in the description below. The best part is frosting these cinnamon rolls while they're still warm so the frosting melts into every little crevice. You can definitely be generous with your cream cheese frosting. These cinnamon rolls are perfect for any occasion. Again, I love it with coffee, and this will be a hit. Take these cinnamon rolls to your party, a function. They're great for a brunch. These are delicious in the gooiness of it all. If you tried this recipe or have any questions about this recipe, let me know about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another delicious recipe. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.